You want to learn how to put new gutters on your brand new house? There's nothing worse than getting stuck in the rain. But today, we're going to learn how to put gutters on a house. And which is better? Should we go with metal or PVC? Let's find out. All right, today I'm in Louisiana. My son's got a nice new home. However, he sent me a plane ticket and said, "Dad, I need you to help me put up some gutters." Hey, that's a great way for me to get a free trip home and see my grandkids. Installing gutters on a house is fairly an easy job, so it doesn't take a whole lot to learn how to install gutters on the house. But the part that you're going to like the most is whenever you discover how much money you save by doing it yourself. Do you save just a couple of $100? Will you save over 1,000? Well, for each job it does vary, but we're going to find out today exactly how much money did my son save by installing these gutters with good old Dad. Today we're putting up gutters, and look, this is really an easy DIY, do-it-yourself job. It's really easy to do. You know, mainly you're going to need your gutters. Obviously, these gutters come in about 10-foot strips. Just measure how much you need. For us, we needed 80 foot on each side. So on the back side, we needed 8 foot, which meant we needed 8 pieces. And then, of course, you need your downspouts. Okay, so that's the downspouts to bring the water down, and then we're going to take and put it in the drain pipe. But before we go into the drain pipe, well, we need to come from the downspouts out. We need to come from the downspouts. We need to come from the downspouts, and we need to go out to a 45 to that drain pipe. So there's not a lot we need. Now, coming over here, for the downspouts, this goes on the outside of your gutter. It's real easy to attach on the flat side. If I turn this around, this goes on. Your downspout is going to go underneath here, okay? And so before we do that, we obviously need to angle out because there's usually an overhang. And that's going to be real easy, because we're going to do something similar to this, to where now our downspout is like this and comes down to the wall, okay? And we'll go into more detail as we install that on the house, okay? So there's not a lot that you need for putting these together. However, you are going to need some end caps. So at the very end of the house, so that the water doesn't run off, you have an end cap. And then, of course, you have joiners right here, and these joiners come a piece, and so you have these two pieces. That bottom goes on and this top goes on. Now, should we use metal tin gutters or should we use PVC? In my opinion, we should always use PVC. My opinion, it lasts a lot longer, just a lot easier to work with, okay? And it has these nice little cushions to keep it from leaking. So in my opinion, in my experience, PVC doesn't leak near as much, okay? What about tools? Well, you can practically do the whole job with a cordless screwdriver. Now, there are going to be times when you need to cut your gutter, and you can use something like a reciprocating saw, but hey, you don't need to spend a whole lot of money if that's something you don't use a lot. You can use a regular hacksaw. Now, this is not a hacksaw, this is a miter saw, and this works just as good. So it's not a lot that's needed for putting up gutters. So before we get on it, let me tell you about a free Costa Rican vacation I'm giving away. I am giving away a 3-day Costa Rican adventure just for watching videos on my channel and learning about Costa Rica and the off-grid homestead. Subscribe now, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out, and watch till the end and I'll explain how you can qualify to win. That's going to be an awesome vacation for somebody, and I hope you win. So with that said, let's get after it. All right, I'm getting ready to hang this very first piece. And before I do, I've gone ahead and put my hangers on. Now the hangers go on real easy. They just slide right on, just like that. And depending on the weather in your location, depending on how much rain, how much snow you get, you want your hangers to be anywhere from 18 to 24 inches apart. Some say 36 inches apart if you're in dry locations. I personally wouldn't do that. At most, I would have no more than 24 inches apart. In heavy snow, I would go 18 inches, okay, maybe 16. However, now that you got your hangers on there, and I know that for this location, we're gonna put them 24 inches apart. So we've got them about 24 inches apart, really easy to slide. And I've already got my downspout on here. Snaps on real quick, real easy. The only thing I need to do is put a hole right here, but I'm not gonna do that just yet. I know that I'm going to put my downspout here on the corner of the house, and so I need to first get up there and decide where it needs to go. I can adjust it, put one in here, then I can mark it out, bring it back down, and cut out the hole. So now that we're just about ready, before I do anything, I want to put my end cap on the end. Now, we have this nice rubber piece right here, which is going to keep it from leaking, but for extra precaution, what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and put that end cap on here. Now, that end cap stays on there like that, but for extra precaution, I'm going to take and put a self-tapping screw here and a self-tapping screw right there. All right. Now I know that this cap is not going to come off, because what we want is we want all of our water coming this way, and in a heavy rain, you'll have quite a bit of water coming here. I don't have to worry about this end cap coming off. Now it does have that foam seal in there, but for extra precaution, this is totally optional. I'm going to caulk it on the inside all the way around right here at the bottom, just so that I never have to worry about it. All right, now I'm ready to put that on the roof. Now, while I'm up here, I'll take a moment to tell you, a lot of times people will put their gutter just to the end of right here. Well, that's a big mistake, because rain's going to follow this asphalt, and then it's going to leak right off, and it's going to constantly leak. So you need to bring it out to the edge of your asphalt. So what you need is probably an inch, inch and a half, maybe 2 inches, so that whenever the water is running down your asphalt shingles or your tin roof, then the water falls, goes straight into your gutter. That way you don't have any water creating a hole down at the bottom. So I can see that we need it about there. And since we have our downspout here, then at the center of the house, about 40 feet, then we want it to be as high as we can, and we need to drop it about a 1/4 inch every 10 foot, which means with 4 pieces, this needs to be about 1 inch lower here, so that we naturally have a decline, and that water will follow gravity all the way down. So I know I need this to be about 1 inch down. Just about perfect right there. And since these hangers slide, well, no big deal. If my gutter's way out, all I need to do is bring it back. So I don't have to worry about it being exact right now. So I need to pull it here. I know that that looks like it's going to be perfect. Now that I know my location, I can slide my downspout, and it looks like my downspout needs to be right there. Now that's real close, and you have lots of room to play. So I'm just going to make 2 marks on the inside of my gutter so I know where to cut it. All right, I got my hole cut out. So now when the rain will go straight down the downspout. Now we just need to put this back on the wall. About there. And I'm going to measure 24 inches from my hanger to my next hanger. All right, that's up there. Now we need to put the next piece on. All right, so as you can see, we've got a gutter and we already have our hangers spaced out in an approximate area. Now we need to take and put our joiner on there first. Separate the 2 joiners and we're going to put the bottom piece on first. You put about half it on there and it snaps right on. It's really easy. So you got half on and half on. Let's take and put the other piece on. Ready? All right, the other piece snaps on. It really is that easy. Now you want to start with your joiner by putting the back side in because that's the part that's got the longest in on your actual gutter. All right, it will be a little bit tight because of the cushions, but you push it down there, it will snap into place, and you want to do that before you actually put your hanger up here so that you actually have some flexibility, something to work with. Now that it's joined together, we can go ahead and put our next hanger up. I'll continue to measure 24 inches. All right, so we have 2 pieces of gutter up already, and it looks great, and it's really easy to do. But now we're at a deciding factor. It ends right here, and you could stop and put an end cap, and that would be okay, but it wouldn't look great. And as you know, I always say, if you can't do it right, don't do it at all. Best thing to do so that it looks good for your brand new home is come all the way to the end here. Obviously, no rain is really gonna fall off of this, but as far as it being pleasing to the eye, it would look a whole lot better for that gutter to end here. And in that way, we just gotta cut off a little piece, join it, put an end cap, and it's gonna look great. Then we're gonna continue on with the rest of the house. So that we do it right, that's what we're gonna do. Let's get after it. All right, now that we have that cut, we need to put an end cap on this. So we're gonna do the same thing as we did earlier. We'll put that end cap on here. Now that we have the end cap, we're going to put those 2 stainless screws in there. All right, we probably are going to need a hanger for this, but then we're ready to roll. We have our other piece for the end cap, but we need to join it first. So once we join it, it's going to really look great. Let me go ahead and put my hanger on there. All right, that looks good. Only thing I didn't do was I forgot to put the caulk on the inside. Remember, that's totally optional, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So if my assistant will toss me the caulk, I'm gonna do that now. All right, for this section of the house, we're looking good. We're gonna go back and do that downspout. All right, I'm getting ready to put the downspout right up here on this corner, but let me show you a typical error, okay? So here's our downspout, and it's gonna come from the downspout in here, and it's gonna come down and out. Now, looking at this, it doesn't look like there's anything wrong. However, if you look close, you can see arrows that says the direction of the flow of water. You see, this goes inside here, so water going in stays in the pipe. But if you look at the end, this is on wrong. See, this being inside, if you were to do it like that, while you could make it work, it's possible water would leak. So you don't want it that way. Follow your arrows, put it on like that, and now water is inside of this and coming down. So, hey, it's something that if you don't know about, you don't know, you can make that mistake. So if we take a look, water flows down, goes in, and flows out. Now we're gonna have to cut this, it's too long, and once I get up there, I'll show you a nifty trick that makes it easy to measure so you don't make a mistake. All right, here's an easy way to measure how long you need this part of your downspout. Yes, you could get your measuring tape, however, you're kind of fumbling around and guessing, and as you can see, well, that's just way too long. So, if you'll go ahead and put this up here, you guys got to be careful because it will fall off. And there we go. Now our downspout will be here. We can mark it right here and know exactly where we need to cut our pipe. That way, this will be the part we'll use and this will be our excess pipe. All right, that'll be perfect. Now we're just gonna get us a square. That way we can draw a straight line, cut our pipe, and it's gonna be perfect. All right, so we have our downspout cut to size, which is great. But what I wanna do is go ahead and put in 2 self-tapping stainless screws, 1 on each side. That way I don't have to ever worry about it coming apart. It is, again, totally optional, but I don't wanna have to do any maintenance down the road. So I'm gonna put 1 on each side here and 1 on each side here, and that way I never have to worry about it. Our downspout is done. We put that up there. That's perfect. We now just need to take and put our downspout, but I want that downspout to be right up against this edge, and I've got plenty of room to play with. And so I can move it here. And now I can put my downspout right where I want it. After my downspout's in place, I have to put 2 more screws right up here, and that project will be done. So let's go ahead and put our downspout on the wall. All right, when I get ready to put this downspout up, we have these brackets or bracket hangers, whatever. Anyway, they go onto your downspout. That's what's gonna hold it to the wall. And they simply attach on just like that. So once screwed to the wall, put it in place, and it's done. I'm gonna use 3, 1 in the middle, 1 at each end, and that's what's gonna hold it in place. It really is that easy, so let's go put it on the wall. All right, now that our brackets are in place, you can see it holds our downspouts, but I'm gonna go ahead and put in 2 more self-tapping screws at the bottom just so that our downspout doesn't slide for any reason. All right, we're gonna put these self-tapping screws right here on this just to hold it in place. I'm gonna put me one here as well. All right, this section of the roof is done. Well, it only took us the better part of a full day to put up these gutters. Now, that's where most people stop. And then of course we've got our downspouts here. And when people stop at that point, well, especially if you have a fresh house pad, well, as soon as it starts raining, it's going to wash, and then you've got an ugly environment. So the best thing to do is take time to put in a ditch and some drain pipe, and that's what we're doing today. Now, obviously, the tools for this job is real easy. Get you a good shovel. However, if you use a manual backhoe like this, you're in for a lot of work. So the best thing to do is get you a shovel or a spade that's designed for the job. This spade will dig the size hole that you need so that when we put in this pipe, we haven't dug any more than we need. So we have this portion, which is going to create the 45. It expands real well, comes up. You will have to buy this portion right here that goes to the bottom of our downspout, slips in just like this. The other end of that 45, or that small downspout, will fit right in here. All right, let's move down toward the end of the ditch. Now these pieces of drain pipe have slots in them. So the good thing about that is you can buy a drain pipe that's solid, but this will actually seep out a lot of water so that not every bit of it comes out. Now, these come in about 10-foot joints right here, and we only need a little bit more. But you take a hacksaw or a miter saw and you can cut off exactly what you need and then use the other piece on the other side. Now, here's the important part, is that this wide part is gonna fit inside here. So I'm gonna cut off what I need, stick it right here, and you wanna make sure that you have this piece. Don't cut it off from the end, otherwise it won't fit, okay? So we're gonna take that hacksaw, cut off that piece, cover it up with dirt, and that job will be done. Okay, don't forget, there are 4 things you need to do in order to qualify to win that Costa Rican vacation. First, subscribe and hit that notification bell. This way you will not miss out on future videos. Second, click the like button.
Literally, it only takes 2 seconds. Do it right now. These 2 simple tasks sends a signal to YouTube's algorithm that you like these videos, and they'll begin to show these videos with other people so I can help them learn too. Third, comment. Let me know if you've learned something, what else you would like to learn. I read every single comment and I try to reply to as many as possible. And fourth, share this video. Just below the video is a share button, and you never know who you'll be helping or whose life you'll change for the better because you took a few seconds to share it on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. Heck, share it on all your social media profiles.
It only took us a good part of the day to actually install these gutters. It's not a difficult task. It was just going up and down the ladder. However, whenever my son made a couple of phone calls to find out how much it would cost to install gutters on his new home, they quoted him a little more than $1,800. Now, that sounded like a lot to him, and I agree. Once we went to Home Depot, we bought all of our materials, we spent just a little more than $600. And that was including the drain pipe that wasn't on the original estimate from the first guy. So in total, my son saved over $1,200 by learning how to install gutters himself.
We can't end this video without sharing a cultural side note. For most homes in Costa Rica, they don't usually install gutters. That's considered an extra expense, but some ticos do. And I've been noticing a new trend that professional gutter installers in Costa Rica are doing to the new tico homes in the Paris Zeledon area. Let me know if you would like gutters installed like this on your home. I'm not saying this is wrong. I'm just saying ticos do things different, and that's okay.